You go through that, you leave that open there for,
Yeah, gosh.
man.
What are you taking it in?
Now we don't leave it on, you know, because you get feedback. We just put it on only when somebody calls.
Okay, alright.
So we just get feedback.
Oh, okay. So when a family you get your ham and go business, you voucher take?
Yeah, but I ain't
You
going
get it already?
Yeah.
Or you get alcohol to, or you last night you get your business?
Yeah. They leave it here.
Yeah, because they leave Maggie on with me for Maggie now. So. And I know you coming late, I said, but wait, now family.
Yeah.
Nothing, so I said,
Last night.
Okay.
What side working? Both, and there was only one channel was working last night. I wanted to fix it, but
Nah, but I was using both sides tonight and everything was looking for us. Yeah. I was picking below, I was picking tonight. Both sides working. Yeah, he on the side.
I know, yeah. No, well, when you commercial, but I can't.
No, but you can go ahead and do your thing now.
No, I can't queue up when that plane.
Yeah, we're getting your phone set.
No, not using headphones, using the thing.
Okay.
Junior. Take it off. Thanks.
As you know, that's ready.
Okay, we'll drop it.
You're listening to Power 102.
Merry Christmas! It's Christmas time and the Christmas Shopping Festival located at the White Tent opposite Metro gas station Chilgoners is your...
Let's see this on.
You put your butt. You know, you have to switch up.
Christmas Shopping Festival located at the White Tent opposite Metro gas station Chilgoners from December 1st to 24th. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
What do you think munchkins right now? Wife one is love with munchkins right now.
Family. My big brother.
Only have a blessed program.
Yeah, man.
Right? And all the best of the season and family.
You know we drop it.
Yeah, don't eat all the ham and turkey.
At all.
Raj, have a blessed one.
Thank
Same
you.
to you, right? Thanks again.
Take care, man. All the best.
Warm Christmas wishes from our family to yours. From Power 102 FM Digital.
Well, it's the season of Christmas and it's that time of year once again where we give and we receive. And let's use that opportunity this year to really go out there and share some joy and share some happiness. Let's use this opportunity to share. So Merry Christmas coming from Wendell's.
A happy Christmas and a new year filled with peace and prosperity to you and yours. From Power 102 FM Digital.
Yes, people, you don't know this is every Friday. Fire Friday there.
Your regular weekend startup is here.
Fire Fridays is on.
Fire Friday is.
Every Friday with 9 Miles International.
Alright, Fire Fridays. This and every Friday with 9 Miles International and Selector One.
Fire Fridays louder than ever.
There's a Ola.
Huh?
There's a Ola, they call it not Selector Wally.
Yeah, that's the standard that they have. We still use
They
it.
should change it though.
Yeah.
Superstars.
Fire Friday there.
Whereas what you could sue.
Regular weekend with Fire Fridays 6 to 9 on Power 102. Empowering you.
Sexplosion is on Power 102. And now on new days and at new times, the country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru
I think if you are joking. I think if you are joking.
Sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters.
Oh, Lord.
On Power 102, empowering you.
He had the speed right up. We have, well, you know, we have a lot of breaks, eh?
You just say when is the break, man. You in charge? Brandon, what up with you, boy? You impatient? Brandon say start the show. What the hell wrong with you? You a director? Or this radio do a director? Hello? TV have director, not radio.
Not radio.
Getting tied up.
Trying to get in as much answer as possible.
What's that? Yeah, you take your time. Don't study, Brandon. Here on the show. You do what you have to do. So much?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first hour too.
Take your time, but hurry up.
Almost finished. All these other runs. And up, two talking runs here. Okay, let me go. Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102.1 FM, and special thanks as always to 9 Miles International. Well, taking our time, it's now 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education, Sexplosion, with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, that's out at St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And a very, very special nighttime greetings to your family. How are you tonight?
Pleasant good night, pleasant good evening to all the viewers on Facebook, Instagram, for those of you on social media. Down the app?
No, well, you know, we have made some changes.
I don't know.
So it's only, you're not getting live pic in the studio. You're
Right.
hearing it, they're giving you it's
Wait.
live video.
Oh, you mean it's live voice, not video?
Well, yeah, live yeah.
Okay. Nobody informed me.
No, yeah. So before you mention that,
So, okay. So we are live on Facebook and we are live on Instagram only.
right, yeah. And we
Okay,
on
so I don't need to.
sound. No, we on sound.
Sound, okay.
Sound,
So they just, well, that's what radio is supposed to be, you know.
Yeah, I always say so. It's
I keep telling them that.
we have been mentioning this for years.
Yeah, for years. Radio is
Yeah.
to listen to,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
watch.
No.
And now that they've done that, maybe I should switch off Facebook and the other one. What do you think?
Nobody could still listen.
You sure?
Yeah, oh yeah. I
So we should just put it to listen then.
Put it listen. And I must say, you know, we are experiencing one of our co-workers, Chris, have been ill. And,
I got that news last night and I was very disturbed by it, and I haven't heard anything about him, and I wish him a speedy recovery. I don't know what's the prognosis or the diagnosis. I don't know exactly what's wrong, but I'm very concerned because, you know, when I started off on radio,
Yeah.
he was the first person who sat in with me on Power 102. The very first program, because nobody was brave enough.
Yes.
Even you.
No, I could recall that.
No one was brave enough to sit in the program with
No, but-
me
no, but Chris-
except
yes,
Chris Sion.
So we are asking.
And
for
I would
Chris.
like to extend my deepest feelings for him,
Yeah.
and to let him know that I wish him a very, very quick
Yeah.
recovery.
We're missing him here, a
Whatever
lot,
it may
and
be.
especially around this time, which is Christmas time.
Well, Chris is an institution here, you know.
And
If that's what time is Christmas or Carnival.
no, but when you take into consideration, Christmas is spelled CH and Chris starts with
Chris,
CH.
yes.
Mhm.
CHRIS.
Yeah.
Yes, Christmas.
So it's Friday evening. It's Friday.
Yeah, it's a nice, lovely evening. This is our last program for the year. So for those of you who are wondering, it is our last program for the year. We start again on January the first Thursday in January, which is the 3rd. The first program will be on the 3rd with Mac Daddy, and then on the 4th with Junior Saldana.
Yeah.
So write that on your calendar, put that on your calendar on your phone. Give yourself a reminder.
Yeah.
Remember, the Thursday program starts at 7, ends at 9, and of course Friday program starts at 9 and ends at 12. Normally, but not tonight. Tonight I'm finishing at 11.
11 o'clock.
11, and you know the reasons. I don't have to explain it to anybody else.
No.
So tonight we are finishing this program at 11, so please take note of that. I see my good friends are on. Jivan, how are you? That is Charlie. Amit, my nephew, is on. I see my aunties on. Dulcie. Then I see we have a few fans on. Avinash, Robin, Leandra, Sam, Swati, Stephen, my good friend Stephen Sohan, Myrtle, Arena, Joanne, Brandon, Chavez, Daniel, Salid, and Brandon says start the show. Brandon, this program don't have a director. We start whenever we want.
Oh, well,
But Junior had some things to do. I'm just joking. Videsh, Franco, Wazim, Janil, Lisa. Oh, Lisa, Mike was with you yesterday, and all of a sudden I got a message from Lisa, but then things take a turn for the worse.
for the worst.
But when you're dealing with Michael Salicram, it could take a turn for the worse very, very quickly. You know. So he did promise that he's going to come in on the program with his Shiv Shakti girls next year earlier.
Yes, because
He did promise that, and we have it in recorded, and he did say it yesterday. So
we're going to look forward to that.
we're going to look
But,
forward.
okay.
And we have good night, guys. I'm locked on from New York. That is Stephanie over in New York. So Charlene says pleasant, blessed good evening to you all, and season's greetings. Good evening to everyone from Janelle. What else? Brother, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Hope all you have a blast. That is from my friend Stephen Sohan. Sandra says season greeting to you and your crew, Raj. And of course my friend Jiwan just says good night.
Well, before we go,
And then we have Shiva, who is locked on
Shiva.
from Toronto. So we have an international listenership so far. And I see my darling is on. How are you, love?
But I can see the smile on your face, so that person have to be really, really special.
She knows who she is.
So I wouldn't know that.
WP.
Oh yes, oh yes. She's special, all right. But here, what we're going to do? We're going to take a break, and then we're going
We
to
are
get started.
already?
Yeah. We're going to take a break, and then we're going
That's
to
the director.
and we're going to get all started, because I know a lot of people waiting for the excitement.
Especially lady outside, the lovely young lady we have outside here.
Our
Yes.
security.
Yes.
But
She
she's
said,
special, man.
she asked the amount of questions she asked me.
Yeah, but I thought, as a matter of fact, I was even thinking, why
You
don't we
didn't,
bring her in the program?
but you didn't want to leave outside. I know that.
No, I didn't want to leave
Beautiful
outside at
young
all.
lady like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I told her lock you outside,
Yeah, you
but
did.
I know you wanted to be locked outside to remain with her.
Beautiful lady. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and just to remind you that Christmas is right around the corner. You know that for a fact, right? And you need to get that perfect gift item. You need, right? Well, then go down to the Christmas Shopping Festival at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station in Chabonas. Open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. They accept links and a credit card. You can enjoy the daily entertainment that is provided for you. It's all happening. Perfect place. Shopping. Christmas Shopping Festival opposite the White Tent, Medford gas station in Chabonas.
Win tickets to Jamboree for Campari Pop Style. Purchase a 750 ml Campari with limited edition box. Write your info on the entry form and drop it in the box provided from November 23 to December 21st.
So we're coming up to the big 6-9? Coming up to the big 6-9?
Hey boy, yeah. I watch your face there and then in a row. I say, wait. Family 69 you're talking about now. Tomorrow is Scott will be 32.
What?
Yeah. Scott's tomorrow, everybody.
32?
Yeah.
Warm Christmas wishes from our
Wow.
family to yours. From Power 102 FM
And you
Digital.
know, when he goes out
the year again
and I'm with him. So you bring your brother with you. So that's good.
some of us
Tell him Scott, you bring your brother with
So
you.
he looking real old then.
No. Yeah,
No, what you trying to say? He boy looking real old.
no, I'm looking younger.
it's time to spend
Your brother looking younger.
Yeah, I know you want. I know you want me to say that, but I wouldn't say that.
getting but remember the reason for this season. Keep Christ in Christmas. I am Chris. Merry Christmas from my family to yours.
A happy Christmas and a new year filled with peace and
I noticed some person has gotten scared also.
From Power 102 FM Digital.
Scarce, not scared. Scarce.
Scared. Oh,
You notice that?
yeah.
Don't be on, you know.
No, but I think on vacation.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel so. I think I'm on vacation.
That's what my wife said.
Eh?
That's what my wife said.
Yeah.
When I told her yesterday.
Because as a matter of fact, I think both of them went up at the same time. And then he again. Well, I can tell you this is what it's all about. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. And folks, may I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah, as we were saying. So
Pleasant good evening to Shane, Ashina, Reshma, Asha, Crystal. Yeah, you were saying something. No, you were talking about the security outside and the whole. Well, she did ask me a lot of questions, and I didn't want to deny her the answers for those questions because she said I was blowing her mind with some of the answers. That was the things that we take for granted over the years. Doing a program like this, being a sexologist. Sometimes somebody asks me a question, I give them an answer, and it's all blasé. There's no excitement in my voice. There's no. So it doesn't sound real, and sometimes they doubt what I'm saying or they think that I'm telling them a lie. But it's everyday information for me. So there's no need for me to change my voice or to put on an expression or make it look more exciting than it is. It's just, yeah, you ask me a question, I give you the answer, and I'm done with that. It's like a gentleman who called me today and he was talking about phimosis and he was going on and on and on. I gave him the answer very briefly about phimosis. Phimosis is when you have these microscopic cuts on the foreskin of your penis and it burns a lot.
yeah.
Men with foreskin, if they don't take care of themselves, if they have bacteria in their hand and they hold their penis, acidity in the vagina could cause. There are many things that could cause phimosis. And when the person was asking, well, can you treat it? My answer to him was, sure, we do that all the time. No big deal. Now, a person who's suffering from that want to hear, yes, we have a cure for it, of course. They want to hear that tone of voice and they want to hear the enthusiasm in it, but there's no enthusiasm to say, yes, we have the cure for it. It's the same thing when, like the young lady was asking me outside if a man could have an orgasm without ejaculating, and the answer is yes. Once you know how to control your PC muscle, and if you know a bit of tantra or tantric sex, you can control anything in your body, especially when it comes to sex. So there are different aspects of sex and the way we look at sex and the things that we know that I take for granted that is just an everyday answer. It's no big deal for me.
Yeah.
Same with anal intercourse, sensitivity of the penis, sensitivity of the anus, sensitivity of the vagina, the nerve endings in the penis, the nerve endings in the vagina. You ask me the question, I could answer it off the bat. I don't need a book. So the answer may not come out as enthusiastically as you want it to come out. So you may think that he's just saying that. But it's not. It's not. Sometimes I ask someone, that green car going there? I say, yeah, that green car. In a sarcastic way. Sometimes I would answer like that and I apologize because, as I said, it's nothing for me.
No, because but the other party might think that, how he's answering me like that.
Exactly. But it's because I am so accustomed to it and it's an everyday part of life for me.
And
it's no big deal. It's like sex. When people talk about threesome and whatnot, what's the big deal like that?
Yeah, you've been through it.
Well, if you're doing something all the time or you're part of something all the time, there's no big deal in it.
But apart from that, that is your
profession. It's my profession. It's my way of life. It's who I am. The things that I do, the things that I come into contact with on a daily basis, other persons might be impressed about it or impressed by it. I'm not.
It's just a normal.
There are very few things in sex that has impressed me. Very, very few things. I like flirtation. I think when you flirt with someone, that is better than actually having sex. It's more exciting to me. It's a funny thing, you know. And that's one of the price that you pay for being a sexologist and a sex therapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a heavy price that you pay, you know. Because
you see, nothing strange, nothing will sound strange to you when it comes to sex, because this is your lifestyle. This is what you was bred to.
well, that is what I keep saying, but I have to apologize sometimes because it comes across too blasé. A pleasant good evening to Chandra, Derek, my good friend, and Janelle out in Rio Claro. It's like, I remember recently we were having this discussion when I was in Las Vegas at the A4M, the anti-aging show. And somebody was asking me some questions pertaining to sex and sexual intercourse and different things, different experiences a person could have in their marriage and whatnot. And some of the things I was telling the person was blown away by it, and it was like, so that is acceptable? And my answer is yes, as long as the two parties are okay with it, by all means. Now the funny thing about it, as I said that, you know, I remember something. Today I met this guy, and we're friends. So he met me and he said, how are you going? I said, I'm all right. He said, how come you make a comment? I said, a comment about what? He said, boy, going viral, you know. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm going viral, you know, man. Everybody making comment. I imagine I make the news. So I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what he's talking about. Eh? So he goes into his phone and he pulls up this little clip of him walking through a parking lot with a woman on a leash, and he walking with her. So when I watch the woman, I know it's his wife. When I watch, I know it's him. So I'm like, so it's a big deal. He said, boy, you wouldn't believe this thing make news, you know. What happened? He and his wife went to a beach in the east, Toko. And while there, he have all these stuff that he used, leash and handcuff and whatnot, and collar and all those things. And he was taking her photographs. And she wanted to go to the car to go and get something to eat, and they just started to walk, and he holding the leash and she walking. And Trinidadian going off on that. If you watch it, you'll see it's just a piece of silk rope.
Yeah.
And silk rope is what you use for those kind of things in a sexual way. And if you watch the collar around her neck, it's a breakaway collar. It's one of those cheap collars. It's nothing that will choke the person. And he was telling me about some of the response that he got where people was talking about that is exploitation and he kidnapped the woman, and I was like, people so dumb.
And you would never think at the moment he was never even thinking.
No, he
about
was.
those lines.
If you watch him, and if you know the person, he didn't do that for any reason other than he was going to his car. You know, he finished the photo shoot and he was just going to his car. So he's holding the leash. She's smoking a cigarette and he have a beer in his hand, and he's walking. You could tell he's just walking, heading to the direction of his vehicle. So, of course, when yeah, the girl is pretty. As a matter of fact, she was with him today. His wife. She's very pretty.
Yeah.
Well put together.
But it just goes to show how people think.
But it goes to show you how narrow-minded people are.
Yeah, exactly.
But for that to make news, Junior,
Boy,
we really lacking news in this country. That will make news.
Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to think about what just happened, and we're going to take a break, and we would be right back with you. Taking our time to 25 minutes after 9 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Well, just to remind you that the Cascadia water slides are open for the Christmas holidays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the admission is only $50. I tell you, for everyone, fast-paced water slides, fun for the whole entire family. The Cascadia water slides are located at the Cascadia Hotel in St. Anne's. Water sliding fun for the whole family.
Boom Champions 94 presents Think Twice. Think Twice. We celebrate life and promote safety on the nation's roads. Think twice. On the roads, in your cars, or our pedestrians and cyclists. Think twice before you drive, act, and go about your daily lives. Every life is precious, and we must each do our part to preserve lives on the road to Trinidad and Tobago.
Think twice.
Every day, we give you life-saving tips and advice on how you can safely use our roads and highways in Trinidad and Tobago. We also invite you to download the Safety app, which you can use to share messages and information in your very own private networks between family and friends and co-workers, all to keep each other safer.
Think twice.
Brought to you by the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, VEMCOT, a Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, a gallant group of companies, and computers and controls.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Safety for you and your family.
Think twice.
And a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Sexplosion is on Power 102, and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102, empowering you.
I want to continue that you are making radio an experience by itself when you are tuned into Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist, Dr. Raj in the Caribbean, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions. Yep.
You know, I wonder if some persons had seen Archangel the way she would dress in a provocative way. Some of the outfits she used to wear. Some of the things she used to wear and the things that we used to do when we used to go out.
Well,
what they will do.
Yeah, one thing that stands out with me with Archangel, as far as where the dressing was concerned, was the night of the party at the club. The gentleman's, she had on an outfit there.
Mind blowing. And you know, I always chose all her clothes, right?
Yes, I know that. Yeah,
Well,
I know that. And
I chose all her clothes.
she had.
She will not buy her clothes without me.
No, but that.
And I would buy clothes and just bring it for her and say, wear
Yeah,
this.
that was nice. That outfit was. I mean,
It was mind blowing.
she was the first woman I see to part men. No, they talk about in the ancient days of Moses
Parting the Red Sea.
But when she came out,
Yeah, everybody just
moved to the side.
That's
Yeah,
true.
But you remember that night?
I
Right?
remember that night.
Yeah,
That was
outfit
a mind blowing night.
yeah,
Oh my God, that
right,
was one of the
right.
best nights in my life, you know.
Yeah, she looked fantastic.
That was one of the. That's when they put me on the stage.
Yes, yeah.
How much it was? 12 women.
12, yeah. Nice memories, as a matter of fact. I thought she maybe might have surprised us and come in for Christmas.
Nah. Somebody asked, hi Doc, where in Debe exactly is your outlet? Me and the boss lady wants to pass by. Have a good night. It is exactly on the SS Erin Road, obliquely opposite Club Luss, the building before Chinese Dragon, on your left hand side heading to Pina. I don't think I could be more specific than that.
No.
The name of the building is Shops of Debe. There's a vape store in front, there's a barbecue outlet in front, and we're down to the back. And it's the place where Lal, the tailor, has his place. So you can't miss that.
No. Everything is tailor-made for you.
Everything is tailor
You
made.
can't miss it at all.
Right. So if you can't find that Sunil, I can't tell you where again. I'll have to stand up in front and wave a flag.
Yeah.
But it's right here. So I hope you know exactly where that is. As a matter of fact, my parents went to the store today.
Oh.
Yeah, they were going to a function
Yeah.
in Pinal.
And they
Like
got
one
right.
of my mother's cousin. My mother's. That barbecue place is the only place I ever see advertised barbecue duck.
Barbecue duck.
Barbecue duck.
Wow.
So I have to try the barbecue duck one of these days and tell you about it. Because you know I love duck.
Yeah, well, I know that. Yeah.
I love duck. I
But,
go all over the world looking. I know what you're going to say.
No, never.
That's something else that's right with
No.
duck. Junior behavior. Bloody self. This is a Friday. We relax. It's the last program for the year. We're talking a lot of things.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yes. But I think duck is my favorite meat.
I like goat meat.
Duck is my favorite. Anywhere in the world I go, the first thing I look for is a place selling duck. Yeah. And the best duck I've ever had, ever had,
Yeah.
is a little Thai restaurant in a place called Dockyard in England. Under a bridge. Under a bridge. You can't. If you're driving, you can't find it.
Duck under a bridge. Wow. Come on, you're real tasty, boy.
Boy, that duck was. Well, as a matter of fact, last week I was in Vegas and I went to where was it, boy? Oh, I went to Hakkasan, which is a Hakka restaurant in the MGM Grand, and I had duck there. I had duck at my favorite place, which is in Chinatown, and I had duck at Sati. Yeah.
It's a good thing you do play cricket or no?
Only duck. How would I be making duck? I like that.
No, yeah.
I don't like that.
I'll go with that. I'm going with that.
I used to go in 3 and 4, you know. Yeah, after the opener scan, I had to go. Oh, God. I used to dread that, boy. Where you with some of the bowlers?
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj. So tell me what we are going to do. We're going to open up our lines. You know, it's a Friday evening.
Yeah. Join us.
Yeah, give you the opportunity.
Talk about
to
some
interact.
experience. Let us
Let us know when.
let us have some fun.
Yeah, let us know where you first had sex.
What was duck?
How was it? How was it? You know, just give us your experiences.
Hey, big brother Carlos is on, man.
Hey, my family himself.
And for those who are in DB, if you miss the place, just look up. It's one of the largest signs you'll see all the way up on top, and it's a yellow. So it's called Dr. Raj Adult Boutique.
And you got a pic? That one?
Yeah, it has a pic on it.
I
Of
got
course.
yeah.
Of course. I brand all my stores with my picture.
Yeah, so you can't miss it at
You
all.
can't miss it. You can't miss it. If you do miss it,
It's your fault.
no, turn around.
Yeah.
And if you turn around and you're heading towards Debe, it's the place just after the building, just after Chinese Dragon.
Chinese.
So how could you miss it?
No, Chinese. I mean Chinese.
You can't miss it. Now there's a Chinese Dragon on the left if you're heading to DB,
Yeah.
and there's a Chinese Dragon on the left if you're heading to Penal. You know.
So much Chinese, right?
2 Chinese Dragon, but the one on the left heading to Penal.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about. That's on the eastern side.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who know east, west, north, and south,
Yeah.
the one on the eastern side,
That's the one.
that's the one.
Or you can walk with those you know long ago when you're small.
Compass, when long ago, everybody should have a compass. They have it in the phone. Every phone have a compass.
They would not tell you if you get lost.
Yeah, just do so. Say,
Yeah,
okay,
yes,
Dr. Raj say east. Let me say,
yeah.
somebody say Junior make a cricket joke, way.
And when and when you look up,
Oh,
you see Raj.
They know how you love cricket.
Yeah, they know. Anyway, folks, for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj via the telephone, you can give him a call right now in studio. Anything you want to discuss. It's a Friday evening and it's the last program for the year. You can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp message or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. May I remind you that this program, it's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM.
So when the young lady was asking about the things that you can do to spice up your life, if you have a willing partner and your partner understand that the things you need, and I was telling her some of the things that you can just simply enjoy. Let's say that call.
Okay, we go to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hi, good evening.
Latsman, good night. I'm all right. How are you? How are you?
Well, fine, thank you. I want that machine to prevent people from running me down.
That easy. Just don't bathe for a week. You have to buy no medicine for that. Don't bathe for a week.
Because a lady in the health center, she behind me.
Well,
When I come out,
the reason why she behind you, she might be checking out your rump.
Huh?
If she behind you, she might be checking out your buttocks.
I know, but you see, again, but the news one, I invite you for lunch, yeah?
Go
I
ahead.
invite you for lunch.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, I want to invite her for lunch.
Oh, I thought you invited her for lunch. You want to invite her for lunch? Uh-huh.
And rice with chorai bhaji
Uh-huh.
and what you call it, just no salt drink or liquor or anything, yeah?
Dal rice and chorai.
Drink
Okay.
and mix it with a muskmelon, a piece of muskmelon and make a drink with that with some goat milk. That's it.
All right. So you're inviting her for lunch to feed her dal rice and chorai bhaji. And when you actually, what is the next question you're going to ask her?
No, there is no question behind it. A friend.
All right. Well,
Yeah, but that make a lot of sense.
whenever you find something to repel women, let me know.
Yeah. Lachman have a lot of stories.
Yeah, he gone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he left.
No, what? Whenever he finds something to repel, let me know.
Don't forget our lines are open if you would love to interact with Dr. Raj, 2228255, also at 6128255. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnana.
A pleasant good evening to my cousin Kumar. How are you?
So we go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Rod was telling you something just now.
What's that?
I know what it was. He said, if I've been inviting the person for lunch and what have you, what next? There's nothing next.
Okay, well, not next. Well, then, okay, cool.
Hello?
Well, cool, no problem in that.
It's just a friend.
Yes, there's no problem in that. You don't have to explain anything again. This is not a court of law.
Yeah, I tell you.
There's no explanation needed, man. Hi, Raj. What percentage of women are squirters? We used to, in the past, it was a lower percentage. As a matter of fact, we used to say 1 in 1,000. But after doing research locally and after doing program on our sister station, 94.1, when I had that program, what was the program called again? What was the program called?
Look at that. Look up
With third base.
I remember the program.
Something forum? Anyway, I'll remember in a while. That was so long ago.
Yeah, that's a couple of years.
What was the name of my program on?
Strange.
I don't remember that. You know, the other day I remember I was doing a program somewhere else. And I said, wait, I never even mentioned that to anybody. I don't even have that on my resume. No, I don't even have it on my resume. Because I don't update my resume often.
Anyhow, yeah.
Anyway, I'll remember it. What was the name of that program? Somebody will remind me. One of my listeners out there, please remind me what was the name of my program with third base on Boom Champion. So, after doing that program, and the amount of women who used to call in and talk about squirting, and actually doing some research at the office, that figure has cut down tremendously. It's not, it's not 1 in 1,000. I will say it's 1 in 100. Because of the number of women who I've come into contact with over the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
When we started off the program, I was using statistics, because we had no statistics in Trinidad. So I was using statistics from the United States and Europe and other countries. And that's where it was like 1 in 1,000 women, but then the population of those countries, millions.
Yeah.
So when you extrapolate that to Trinidad, the population in Trinidad is small compared to outside. the percentage of women is small compared to outside, and the percentage of sexually active women is also smaller. So 1 in 1,000 was kind of far-fetched, but it was the only data I had until I started to do my own research. So I will tell you, like, it's 1 in 100 women. You cannot teach a woman how to squirt. She have to be a natural squirter, but not all women know that they can squirt also. Because when they get the sensation of wanting to squirt, they're afraid that they're going to pee.
Oh,
They're going to urinate. They're going to pee down themselves. And I use the word pee there.
But
so
let
that
me ask you a question. During sex, when you're thinking in terms of a squirter and a non-squirter, is there a difference with the individual having sex with that particular person? Is there a better enjoyment with a woman who squirts, or it's better with a woman that don't squirt?
Yes, Izzy, you're added to the stats. Izzy never knew she was a squirter.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Found out by mistake.
But always good to find out by mistake, because you get a better enjoyment. You might be surprised first, but then you say, hey, look, I can do this.
I know what you're trying to do. Junior, I know you so well. I know what you're trying to do here. But it's not going to work.
No.
You notice I know when to switch off, I'm switched off.
Yeah.
So, but I had to do the research because after that program, what was the name of that program? Players Forum. Players Forum.
No,
I know it had
really.
something to do with
No.
Flora Forum.
Know that you really
When we used to do Players Forum at Boom Champion with third base, because of the number of women who were calling and confessing to being a squirter, and men even confessing to the amount of women they encounter, I decided to do that research.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Inside Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Probably the most celebrated holiday in the world. Christmas in Trinidad and Tobago is filled with traditions. This is how we celebrate it. Trinidad Traditions is on Power 102. Hear from local celebrities and how
But this
they
is better way,
celebrate
I know.
at this time of the year.
No, I sometimes break my concentration.
No, not for
There is a better way to get people ads out. Of course.
Painting and painting, midnight mass, food.
But when I start with a topic, I don't have to
I know, it breaks the momentum.
Be a part of our 12 weeks of Christmas here on Power
But you see
102
something like that,
with
what they should do is
traditions. 3 times
monitor the
daily from
program.
Friday at 9:35
And they should say, okay, at the beginning you play a number card, and if I need a monologue for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you do that, and then use that as the break. Instead of every 15 minutes.
You get a little more space.
and Agricola Credit Union on Power 102.
But nobody ever asks questions here.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas on Power 102 with our 12 weeks of Christmas. We're bringing
You know, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
To get our break. So how long you're going for? Until the new year?
Listen out for Trini Traditions, the Power Minute to Win, Trini Recipes, Power Parang Line, Christmas Classics, and our
laughing all
Perfect Christmas to name a few. You'll be wrapped up in the warmth of this festive season. Power 102's 12 Weeks of Christmas. Access info about our giveaways and more on Power 102. And
Hey, how long you play a game all goes together with?
No, boy, you must make a line. You have a couple of
the 12 Weeks of Christmas is on Power 102, empowering you this Christmas.
Merry Christmas! It's Christmas time, and the Christmas Shopping Festival located at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station Shogunals is
a couple of games that they are
from
playing.
December
This
1st
trip
to 24. Check us out for a wide
Yeah,
range
the
of
who
toys,
can't play at
gadgets,
all. Just say,
What's the truth?
whatever card.
What's the truth?
and much more available all under one roof. Enjoy
Flip it on the head.
Play the die.
Stop Shop, the Christmas Shopping Festival, located at the White Tent opposite Medford
Used to do that in school, yeah?
From December 1st to 24. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
I want to continue that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education, right here on Power 102.1 FM. Don't forget, folks, the lines are open. If you would love to interact with Dr. Raj, feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
So we were just joined by your people from Rio Claro.
Hey, my family. I must
AA and family.
Must extend a happy Christmas to them and a beautiful New Year. Nice.
Remember in the New Year we have to go and visit
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I want to drink that cocoa from them.
I thought you wanted them to.
No. Here we go, cocoa. No.
We'll find out.
Yes, I love them.
We'll find out soon enough.
I love that family.
And we'll let everyone know how good the cocoa is.
Yeah. Believe me, them, no. Special cocoa, it comes from the tree, not from the ground. Yes, folks.
I went up by my friend,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Cooper, up in Lopino and got some cocoa, some chocolate recently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Started having my regular beverage.
Before, I don't want to sound like a clown here, but before you have to put it in the sun, right?
Well, cocoa?
Cocoa,
Must,
yeah.
yeah.
Must go in the
Yeah,
sun.
yeah, you have to dry it in the sun.
Oh, okay. So it's not something you just pick like over.
No. There is a process. First of all, you have to crack the cocoa, take out the seeds, gut it. You have to take out all the guts from it. There's a lot of strings inside, what they call guts.
Oh, okay.
So you just take that and throw it aside and you get the beans. But the beans are covered by a white pulp. So you take that bean now and put it in a sweat box.
All that?
Yeah. When you put it in the sweat box to get rid of that juice, that pulp,
Yeah.
then you take it out and you put it in the cocoa house. Right? When you put it in the cocoa house, there's something called dancing the cocoa. You have to dance. I hope I get the sequence right, because
Yes,
I used to do it when I was a little boy.
I saw people doing
So you have to
that.
dance the cocoa.
Yeah.
And while dancing the cocoa, you have to know how to heap it with your foot and you have to know how to spread it out. There's a technique.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a technique. It's not. Now, when you go up in Lupi, as a matter of fact, we should do that. We should go up and watch them do it.
Yeah.
And then there's something called a rabo. It's like a rake, but a flat rake without spikes, made out of wood. And the shovel for it is also made out of wood. You can't use a metal shovel because you'll cut the beans.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Right. So
with
you
wood.
turn the beans and then you use the rabo and then you cut furrows in the when you spread it out, you cut furrows in between so it dries. So it's like hills and valley, small hills and valley in a row. And then you go and you cut it across. And there's little techniques.
So
Cocoa is not something. I never tell you cocoa in the sun. You watch for rain because you see rain coming, you have to pull the shed of the cocoa house to cover it because you don't want the rain wet in it.
so when somebody tell you want some cocoa,
It's plenty work.
It's plenty work.
Yes.
But I like that. I definitely
Yes.
like
But
that.
I remember the entire process because we had a large cocoa estate.
That should have been a lot of fun, though.
Oh, as a child, oh my God. I fell off the cocoa house once. Well, and I got badly damaged. And my father, wherever he was, nobody knew where he was. But when he heard that I fell on a bamboo patch. And he just appeared. I think I was about 5 or 6 years of age. But I remember it. I remember everything. He just appeared from wherever he was. And my father always only in our drawers. He don't wear t-shirts, not always in our drawers. And he picked me up, bleeding, and ran from our home to the hospital.
In our drawers.
In the drawers.
Wow.
But our home to the hospital there was nothing between our home and the hospital except forest. So he ran through the forest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just for cocoa, boy? Cocoa?
Yeah. Fell off the cocoa house. Somebody pushed me, but I wouldn't blame the person. I wouldn't blame the person.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. You are listening to the magic of sex education right here on Power 102.1 FM. The only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, located in St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. All lines are open. If you would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. Yep.
So for the young lady out there who is listening to our program and wondering why we're talking about cocoa and all kind of thing, and she wants a question answered about anal intercourse and about I told her to send me some messages so I will remember all the things that she asked.
But you mentioned cocoa too, because I know it works in a sexual.
Well, it's an aphrodisiac. Yes, it's an
Because
aphrodisiac. And
sometimes you might meet somebody and
no, in certain countries, they sell the cocoa drink as an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, because sometimes you might meet somebody and they might say, I want to taste your cocoa.
Galia, they go do that too.
Yeah, but you know, you never can tell
It
if
could be
it's-
meant both ways.
Yeah.
I went to this restaurant once. Well, not once. I went to this restaurant, but for the first time with a good friend of mine. She's from she's a police officer in Miami, and she said, "Let me take you for dinner." I said, "Okay, no problem. Let's go." Went to this restaurant where their main meal is a whole fish. They fry an entire fish, red fish, about this size. Right? So they'll put it on a platter and bring it to you. And I saw on the menu, well, they say cacao juice. I said, what the hell is cacao juice, boy? I mean, how did they make juice out of cocoa? I know cacao is cocoa. So I ordered one. I said, bring a cacao juice for me. Boy, it's cocoa tea that we just drink. Well, of course, cocoa beverage.
Yeah.
But cold. My God, that thing tastes so good.
Yeah, but anytime you tell me cacao, I want a definition, I know. Because I don't know what you're giving me. You tell me, do you want some cacao juice?
Cream de cacao?
It's a family. You know,
What are you talking about?
You know, because
Well, you see, Junior, that's where you have to travel and start reading menus and looking at bottles and things, and you'll learn a few things.
Cacao juice, okay. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you.
I'll surprise you with something after when we come back. Woo!
Want to ensure you hear your favorite Christmas songs this season? Well, it's easy with Power 102's Christmas Classic.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Just another part of our 12 weeks of Christmas here on Power 102. Just enter your song and title information. What's your name? Where you're from? And song requests to the Power 102 message board by simply firing up the Power 102 app or head to our website at power102fm.com. We honor the tradition of listeners with our Christmas Classic, from weekdays at 8:55 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Let us know what you want to hear. Soon you'll be singing along to your favorite Christmas songs. Christmas Classics on Power 102, empowering you this Christmas.
I just saw a name there and I remember something. Oh my God, hey.
Problems and destructive anxieties of today tearing you apart?
The things I went through in the station.
Adjust your priorities and refocus your
I know.
It's now. Join Pastor Wayne Sampson on the Vision Flow devotional program every Monday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 FM. Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
What are you on so boy?
Merry Christmas. It's
You have another break
and the
at
Christmas
10,
shopping
20.
festival.
And you still have 2 hours to go and 1 hour without me.
10:20.
It's your one-stop shop from December
And
1st to 24th.
10:50.
Check us out for a wide range of toys and gifts, handicrafts, home decor, ready-made garments, footwear, and much more available all under one roof. Enjoy daily entertainment. Your one-stop shop, the Christmas Shopping Festival, located at the White Tent opposite Metro Gas Station, Chigonas, from December 1st to 24th. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
The extension coming up.
Warm Christmas wishes from
Okay.
our family to yours. From Power 102
Hotel Carnival.
Digital.
Hotel Carnival.
Love.
More
is one of the
advertisement.
most important human values. Christmas is a time to spread love. So from my family to your family,
Who's that?
we want to share our love with you this Christmas.
I don't know that voice.
This is Corey the Slick.
Oh,
Wishing
Corey.
you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous
That's why we don't
New
read
Year.
A happy Christmas and a new year filled with peace and prosperity to you and yours from Power 102
Did they ask
FM
you?
Digital.
Yeah. But there's so much already. It makes no sense. Want to tell you that you are making radio an experience by itself when you're listening to Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Randanan. Our lines are open if you would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free at 2228255, also at 6128255. Now, for those of you who would love to send him a text message, maybe you're a bit shy to hear yourself on the phone, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961.
Junior, I'm very adventurous when it comes to food. Some of the things I've eaten in life will turn your stomach.
Ah,
When I go to a restaurant anywhere in the world, I look for unusual things on the menu, and I order that. My wife only orders 4 things. No matter what restaurant she goes to, if she goes to Italian, I know exactly what she's going to order. If she goes to a Chinese restaurant, I know exactly what she's going to order. If she goes to an Indian or a Thai restaurant, I know exactly what she's going to order. Whereas with me, I will order the most unusual thing. So once I was in China, and I had 2 friends and some companions and my brother, and we went for dinner. And they brought the menu. Well, you can't understand anything because nothing is in English. And this is mainland China we're talking about, not no other China. It have about 5 other China. This is mainland China. And I told the guy, he asked me what I'll eat. I said, here what? Order all the meats that they have except beef, pork, goat, chicken, duck, and lamb. They bought 32 dishes of meat.
32? It's 32 you're saying, I know?
32 dishes of different meat.
I'm sure them when he's throwing some humans in between there.
Why I tell us that? Well, he was explaining what we were eating. I ate everything. I taste from everything.
Well, I know for sure you had to taste a little dog.
No, dog is common. We buy dog on the side of the road.
But this, I
No,
saw,
they normal.
I saw a video.
In the market when you go, I have pictures when we went to the market of dog where they roast it whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate that already.
Yeah.
Not I never eat, you know.
No, but my little puppy home, you want to kill.
I didn't say I want to kill.
No, not you. No, I'm talking about them Chinese people.
But he said, thing about dog in, will say, you want to kill my duck, boy?
But I never see people buying, no, but
No, they go and buy by the pound. They have them there roasted
buying,
in the
yeah.
market. When you go through the market, they have it roasted and they just go and cut off a leg and they go on with that.
Wow.
It's no big deal. It's big for us, but it's nothing there. When you witness those things, nothing. I mean, what people make a fuss out of. I remember once I was in Panama, went to this restaurant, and I saw the word duck. Well, I gravitated towards that, and I saw some funny word next to it. So I said, what the hell is this thing with duck and something, So I ordered it, of course, and guess what it was? Duck and piwa.
Piwa.
Piwa. If you see how they prepare that.
Duck and
Whole piwa without the seed.
Yes.
Man, on top that duck, boy, that thing was so delicious. So, you have to be adventurous in life.
Yeah.
Now, there are some things that oh my God.
That's what I call adventure. But I'm watching.
Lead us not into temptation.
Yeah.
Ah, Lord, my God. Yeah.
Lordy.
Just love it. Yeah. But I am very adventurous when it comes to food. I will eat things that others will not. But not anymore.
But I can imagine how I could.
No, not anymore. I used to do it, and now I've been there, done that. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
And some things I like, something I don't like, and
But I could just
something I
imagine.
had more than once.
Yeah, well, I can just imagine how much.
It's
you
like sex,
Yeah. Eating your life.
When you're having sex, there are some things that you'll do that you'll like, that you'll do again, and there's something that you may do once and you may not want to do it again.
Well, yeah, but it all depends on the taste.
Yeah. I know a lot of men who are turned off by the taste of squirting.
Well,
They want that to hit them.
no, well, to some people, I can see that being a turn off. Because, I mean, you're romping, you're having sex, you're enjoying sex, and then all of a sudden, the hydrant open.
Yeah, but again, okay, let's say for the first time it happens, you will be thrown off by it, but when you realize that the person is a squirter, you shouldn't be anymore.
Well,
The nicest feeling in sex, to me, with a squirter or a person who squirts, is to feel that running up your stomach and up your chest. Because when it comes off, it comes up with a pressure, so it's going up your chest. That is one of the sweetest feelings that I have in sex. But if you have never experienced it, it's difficult to describe.
Okay, well, okay, let me ask you, for a squirter, for somebody who squirts, can you be inside someone and they squirt? Or
Yeah,
you
that's what I
have
mean.
to
You're
be-
inside them, you're having
or it
sex
have
with
to
them,
be- Mhm.
and they're squirting. So the squirt actually comes out with a pressure and it runs up your pubic area, up your stomach, and up your chest. Depending, the warm, nice feeling, man.
Yeah. So you have to sleep, so you have to...
So for those of you who are with a squirter, try it. You may like it, and if you like it, you'll buy it.
Yes. I tell you, my friends, nobody does better when it comes to sex education. And for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured on a Thursday from 7 until 9 o'clock. And then
Guess what that
on
is?
a Friday, what is that? The first thing that would run to my mind was a cake. But
Nope.
no, I can't figure that out.
Cacao.
That is cacao?
Cocoa.
That is
That is
cocoa?
the bowl of cocoa that you will grate and make cocoa tea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If you know what I first thing that run to my
I know
mind.
what first I know.
I know they say
The
drop
way-
a load.
I saw your face, Junior.
Anyway, folks, you can interact with Dr. Raj right here in studio. Feel free to give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. Yeah.
Somebody asked a very important question here. Good night, Doc. Can sperm cause yeast infection? And the answer to that is yes.
It could.
Of course. Especially if a man is diabetic and his the viscosity of the sperm and it has a lot of sugar in it, that could cause a yeast infection.
Oh,
Viscosity is the thickness.
yeah. So you have to be careful.
You have to be careful, of course. Sperm could cause itching in the woman's vagina. So too, the woman's vagina could also, remember when we started off the program, I was talking about something called phimosis.
Phimosis, right?
The acidity in a woman's vagina could cause you to get phimosis, the microscopic cut on your foreskin,
Wow.
which is very painful when urine gets on it.
You get a stinging,
Stinging, burning,
a stinging
painful
burning.
feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
When people describe it for you, say, I'm cringing. It's like, you know, every time you're watching a sporting event and you see somebody get hit in the balls, how every man does hold up there.
Yes, yeah.
Same thing with phimosis. Anybody who has experienced it or talk about it or whatever, they'll always hold on there and say, oh my God. I love it. I love it. Different angles. Different angles. I love it even more.
Yeah, you love it more.
I love pictures in different angles, not the same angle all the time.
No,
When you get
not
different
more.
angles now, you're starting to you get the engine revving.
Oh yeah, and you just got to make sure that your oil is you have oil in you.
To lubricate.
Yeah, to lubricate.
You want to change oil too.
But but some people change oils a lot, you know.
Some people change oil too regularly. That is what I was telling the young lady outside. You don't need to ejaculate when you're having sex.
No. But if
You could
don't-
have
yeah,
sex.
Yeah, but if you don't ejaculate,
There are some men who will get blue balls.
yeah, but
If you get blue balls, don't try it.
yeah, but some men will tell you, if I don't ejaculate, I don't feel
Good.
I had sex.
Right.
You feel you miss out on
Some
something.
men are also like that. But if you know the beauty of sex and not ejaculating, having an orgasm as a man, you don't need to ejaculate and be satisfied. You'll be fully satisfied having an orgasm without ejaculating. But when I talk about blue balls is a very real thing, Deoxygenated blood in your body is blue. If you look here, you'll see blue veins.
Right. Yeah.
Once oxygen hit the blood, it becomes red. So deoxygenated blood is blue. When a man does not get sexual satisfaction, that deoxygenated blood in his scrotum kind of locks in place, and it's very painful. That is what is blue balls. It actually look blue.
So what is the best remedy to
Cold
clear
water,
that at
cold
the time?
water, cold water.
That helps a lot.
Dip it in cold water, take a cold shower, put it in a pan with cold water. Oh my God, better
And you can
yet.
go to the extreme where you can use ice cubes.
Ice cube in water, not ice cube directly not the ice cube directly on your balls, man.
No, with water. No, you
With
gotta
water,
mix it
yeah,
with
you want to make it cold.
Yeah.
But that you don't need it that cold, Junior. Cold water will help with that.
But you know, some people,
Take a cold shower, meaning no heat in the water.
especially country water,
Oh God, barrel water.
barrel water. Yeah.
I had my stint with those things.
Yeah, but you gotta make sure and take the frame off with the little wire mesh on top.
Well, it's for the bugs and things not to get into the water.
And you see how I remember? And my friends in Rio Claro must be laughing because they say he know what he's talking about.
The wire mesh, you must put
The
wire mesh on top.
Yeah, yeah. And you just have to be careful you don't fall in if you're short.
How you going to fall in a barrel?
I nearly fall
How
in.
you going to fall in a barrel, Junior?
Somebody
A barrel is normally 4
Climb.
feet, 4.5. Oh, you climb up.
climb up
And you could have fall head first.
on a stool, yeah. Climb up on a stool.
You was kind of tripping when you as well.
No, I don't want to say to people no. Climb up and move. Here now. I moved the whole top of it, you know. Where was
The rock.
Yeah, the whole top, you know. And that
I know long time barrel had a belly in the middle.
Yes, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. That fit me perfect.
That's the
No, but don't-
that's the true description of a barrel, you know. Oh my God.
All those were good days.
I'm in love.
You're in love. No, but this is good. I like that.
You heard that what was his name? What Parker? Ray Parker Jr. I'm in love with the other woman.
You're in love with the other woman.
That's a beautiful song, you know.
Yeah.
Ray Parker Jr. He was a wonderful
Yeah.
singer, boy.
Yeah.
God, I try know how to see.
Now see you twisting up that camera, I see you twisting that thing sideways, opposite. The only thing
If you know what I'm looking at. If you know what I try to look
I
at.
haven't seen what you're looking at, but just by the expression on your face.
Ah,
And I
boy.
know, and I know you. It's not to say I know you. So I can use my imagination and think what you're looking at. And especially when I see you turn the camera.
I was actually
Yeah.
trying. Oh my God.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 7 minutes after 10 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. That's out at St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, maybe you have something on your mind that is bothering you and you need to get some answers. Well, I can definitely tell you this is the forum for it. You can give him a call right now in studio at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp message or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM and we will receive and hear it for you.
A lovely lady sent me a beautiful picture
She did.
in a red top. Oh my God. And if you see that smile,
Yeah, but you know.
Don't forget in this is the same Junior going in the hotel with a picnic basket, so you could expect him to fall into a barrel. Oh yeah, that's true. You were talking about going to the hotel with a picnic basket.
Hotel.
Oh Lord.
Hotel.
When we were talking about hotels and whatnot.
No, I thought it was somebody who knew me now.
Nah, she know you. She listens to the program all the time.
Well, this is good. That's even better.
This is just getting better and better. I don't know what to say.
I see the amount of time you scroll in there. I hope you have fingers.
Take that call there.
I really hope you have fingers. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sexplosion.
Hello,
Hi.
good night.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Dr. Raj,
Yes.
you have any remedy for pinched nerve or cervical spondylosis?
Well, there are a number of things that you can do. It depends on the extent of it. There's you can use an inverter, which will help to alleviate the compression of the spinal column on the nerve itself.
So then, you
can do something about it?
Let me tell you a little story. And after that story, you will come to your own conclusion.
Yeah.
1983, I was in an accident where I was severely injured. The doctor said I will not walk again. One doctor was telling another doctor this. I on the bed, listening to this thing, say, "Well, you're mad. I walking out of here." The accident was on Father's Day, 1983. Never forget that. 9 days after, I walked out of the hospital in pain, but I showed the doctor I could have walked out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Fast track to 1984, got married on the 7th of October 1984.
Yeah.
On the 31st of October 1984, when Indira Gandhi was shot, there was a lot of rain in Trinidad,
Yeah.
and there was flooding all over. My cousins and I decided to take a drive to Manzalina Beach to see all the cutaways. There were 9 cutaways. Before there was only 1.
Yeah.
When we reached the first one, we parked the truck. We were all on a truck, a 5-ton truck, and I was sitting on the tailgate. I don't know how this tailgate got open and just popped open and dropped, and I hit the tarmac, the pitch, paralyzed from my neck down.
Yeah.
I was paralyzed from my neck down. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of pain, especially in the neck, in my neck, shoulder, spine, in my spine.
It's a simple fix if you're willing to purchase the item. I think it costs like less than $2,000. It comes in the country. You don't have to pay tax, nothing like that. And you carry it at home and you do it every single day. My neighbors just come over by me to do it.
You could help me to get it, sir?
I will.
I could check you in the office then.
Yeah. You have to check me in the office to get that. If you call me on the phone, I'll direct you how to get it.
All right.
It's called an inverter.
Huh?
It's called an inverter. It's the best investment you'll ever make in your life.
Inverter?
Yeah.
Can I get it in a drugstore?
No. I'll tell you where you could get it.
So I'll come to the office.
I saw one being sold at a popular store. I don't want to call their name because I don't buy anything at that store. A very popular store. I saw one being sold there, but it's very expensive there, $3,600.
I am very serious. Tell me how I could get it.
I will tell you, call me at the bloody office. I'm not doing it over the air.
Okay, all right.
Right. I don't want to give nobody no advertisement, free advertisement.
All right.
And next thing you know, people rush in there and say, Dr. Raj said to get it here.
So I'll call you as soon as the new year open.
Well, it's your choice when you decide to call me.
All right, Dr. Raj, all right.
Okay, well,
Thank you very much, sir.
well, thank you for calling.
Izzy, you're making more than my night. You're making my entire year. Just keep it coming. Yeah.
Because I almost saw the table moving. And
So, Junior, my spine was literally next to my shoulder blade here. I was paralyzed. My deceased cousin, my dear, dear cousin, used to pick me up like a little child to take me for treatment, every single morning.
wow.
And all I remember, the doctors in the US warned me, don't ever let anybody put a knife on you, especially your back. And coming to Christmas, I think it was the 6th of, when did my cousin born? When was her birthday? Last week? The 10th. I think her birthday was the 12th. So yes, the 10th of December. I went to my local doctor in Sangrani, Dr. Ali, and he asked me, he said, what you still doing here? And he called the airline, booked a flight for me to fly out. And when I went to the US, there were a team of doctors waiting for me, and I came back walking. But a lot of pain. It's not an easy
It
pain.
wasn't a nice feeling at all.
Spinal injury is not a nice thing. Pinched nerves are not a nice thing. That burning sensation and that excruciating pain that you get, it's unbelievable. So when I tell people I've lived 3 lifetimes in this life, believe it. That's why I just let life go by. I don't live a reckless life. I am very thankful and grateful for all the experiences I've had. But if something should happen to me tomorrow, celebrate.
You said
I
you're
told
strong.
I told a professor that we were having lunch on Thursday. I said, well, if I die tomorrow, don't cry, you know. Celebrate, have a fete. Literally have a fete. I mean, some people might object it,
Yeah.
but that's what I will tell any one of my friends. As a matter of fact, I have my Bauji. She keeps on telling me, because she knows that her husband wouldn't do it, when she die, hire Dylan and Dan to play.
Yeah,
And I know she's serious about that.
You know, I could recall long ago, it used to be a dreadful thing when somebody passes on and everybody go home and they're sobbing. But I have noticed in the last couple of years, the last 15, 20 years, what is happening now is after a funeral, it's like a celebration of their life. Everybody
Well, you're
gather at
supposed to. You're supposed to.
everybody gather at a
The
home.
South Indians, they do that. They have a celebration after. My cousin who died, my deceased cousin, the one who was very close to me, the one who would do anything for me and I'll do anything for him. When he died, he was a leader of orchestra. That's what Michael was trying to remember, the orchestra that I used to sing with him. We had the full band at the cremation site, you know. People were literally coming and asking us for CDs to buy, you know, at a funeral, you know. Because all the music that he played was on a CD and it was being played by this full band.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's what he
basically,
wanted.
It was a celebration.
He wanted that when he dies, it must be a celebration. It must be orchestra. It must be music. No rum and grog.
No.
But
yeah.
celebrate.
Yeah.
Because he was a practicing Hindu and all the Hindu things had to be done. So no alcohol. But you could fete without alcohol.
Yeah.
And I want the same thing. I have no problem with that. I'm not afraid of death because I have been on a bed flat for months. I'm talking about, this is just after I got married. 3 weeks after I got married. I was paralyzed from my neck down. So,
Wow. Yeah, but that even made you a stronger man.
yes, it did.
Yeah.
No, it did. Honestly, it did.
Yeah. When you go through something. No,
Mentally and physically,
you
yes.
see, when you go through something like that, I mean, that experience by itself.
So
Yeah.
is he a more than like the full picture? Because the full picture includes parts of you.
Yeah. No, I think that's a movie. the more the time I see.
Junior, I go to my phone
the more
because
time.
I get messages also, you know. It's not only beautiful, sexy picture of.
No, but for a minute there.
Oh my
I mean,
God,
the amount of
this is
times-
what you call sexy, you know.
The amount of times I've seen that phone flash. You know, it's all the police coming here.
No, it does flash because I don't use a ringer on my phone. I
No,
never
not
use a
in the
ringer.
but the amount of flash, I say, wait now. Something not right here. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, Dr. Raj, could you give me a number to call you?
645-4543
Right.
or 740-1961. The last
4545.
43.
Right.
That's my office number.
Yeah, well, sir, how must I come to the I have to come to
Wait,
the office to
wait.
give me money for you?
I am not finished yet. My personal number is 740-1961.
740
1961.
1961.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for calling. Don't forget, taking our time to 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM, the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. That's out at St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would like to interact with him via the telephone, feel free at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yep.
And anybody who decide to call me now, like 5447, don't waste your time to call. I'm on a program.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop a program to answer your call.
No, but that going on. Nah, you don't want to stop the program.
What are you talking about?
To interact with nobody. You can't. Your interaction right there, right?
So I was telling my friend, Professor, that I am not fearful of anything. I know what it is like with those things, but it doesn't mean to say I live a reckless life.
Yeah, yeah.
I take care of myself. I make sure I do all the right things. I try my best to live a good life, because you never know when it's going to end.
Right.
You have no idea of that. But since we mentioned the professor, I have to say a pleasant good night to my good friend, our good friend, Mr. Alton in Arima, who calls me the professor. So, Elliot, if you're listening to the program, pleasant good evening to you. I haven't heard from you for a long time, and I know why, so no need to explain. I do understand the situation that you're in, so, but he's a dear friend, a dear friend.
Beautiful.
And I have a lot of friends who are older, much older than I am. No, much older than I am. I'm talking about in their 70s and whatnot, 80s. I have friends who are very old, you know, but they're my friends, because I've learned a lot from them, and we can converse about anything. Look, my good friend Crazy. That's why I told you yesterday I started a petition, which I'm going to continue, that Crazy, Edwin Ayong, has to get a national award, and I have to get an honorary doctorate.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, because the man is a fantastic human being, if you know him.
Yeah, personally.
Yeah, well, I know you know him, but I'm just saying that for those who are listening. If you know him, gentlemen, he is a fantastic human being.
Genuine guy.
Very genuine guy. He's talented. Ever since I know him, I have known him to be like that, and he's somebody I love.
I'll tell you something. The thing that is outstanding with Crazy, you know, you have calypsonians that sing jump and wave or calypsos. But what he does, he sing calypsos and then he give you parang. So
he could give you any. He give you parang and he give you chutney too.
And right. So he gives you right across.
He's very versatile. So last night I called him after the program. He said, "Why didn't you text me and tell me you were going to talk about me, man? Why didn't you do that?" So let me do that now, and let my good friend know that I am mentioning him.
Yeah, but apart from that, you know, of recently, I don't know if you noticed, he have been getting awards away.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I know that for a fact, because recently he was invited to sing in Boston, which was last week.
Yeah.
And people are recognizing him outside of Trinidad, but we need to recognize him here.
Yeah, don't wait until you pass on. Nice guy. Anyway, folks, taking our turn, it's now 21 minutes after 10 o'clock. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Probably the most celebrated holiday in the world. Christmas in Trinidad and Tobago is filled with traditions. This is how we celebrate it. Trinity Traditions is on Power 102. Hear from local celebrities and how they celebrate at this time of the year.
Christmas Eve. Me? Crazy. Because that's the day when I have to do everything last minute.
With house paranging, cleaning and painting, midnight mass, food, and spending time with friends and family.
If you taste one of my butter pastel, you don't want to eat pastel from nobody else.
Be a part of our 12 weeks of Christmas here on Power 102 with Trinity Traditions. 3 times daily from Monday to Friday at 9:35 a.m., 1:35 p.m. and 5:35 p.m. Spend the season with us and share in our Trinity Traditions.
This Christmas Day.
Sponsored by Neil and Massey North Credit Union, Educates, Karen, and Agricola Credit Union on Power 102. Empowering you.
How are you,
Merry Christmas.
Devan,
Christmas time.
how are you?
Christmas Shopping Festival located at the White Stand opposite Metro Gas Station, Shoguanos is your one-stop shop from December 1st to 24th. Check us out for a wide range of toys and gifts, handicrafts.
Devan is such a reliable and good friend.
Footwear and much more available.
It's unbelievable.
Enjoy daily entertainment. Your one-stop shop, the Christmas Shopping Festival, located at the White Stand opposite Metro Gas Station, Shoguanos, from December 1st to 24th. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
Want to ensure you hear your favorite Christmas songs this season? Well, it's easy with Power 102's Christmas Concert.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Just another part of our 12 weeks of Christmas here on Power 102. Just enter your song and title information. What's your name, where you're from, and song requests to the Power 102 message board by simply firing up the Power 102 app or head to our website at
Then after
power102fm.com.
Christmas is Carnival. You have a long season, you have a long break before Carnival, though.
What break?
Yeah, you have a 3 months break.
Oh, 3 months break.
Days at 8:55 a.m. and
2 months.
11:30 a.m.
But it's early March. But that's still a good break. You have the whole of January, the whole of February.
Who, me? I don't have a break.
About Carnival.
Unless they change the programming, we don't know.
No, I'm talking about Carnival now. They have such a long break.
I have 2 beautiful women who want to come here for Carnival. 3
Eh?
who want to come here for Carnival. I'll show you their pictures in a while.
Coming for Carnival, bring them.
Let me see if I can show you one now.
Short check. One can tell you that you are making radio an experience by itself when you're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. We are taking sex education to a whole new level with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center that's located St. Augustine. And he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both the male and female.
She wants to come.
For Carnival? You can
Yep, she wants to play Mars too.
play, yeah, we can play Mars.
I know you want to play Mars. She is so beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful young lady.
Wow. Mixed between Dominicana and Thai.
Where she lives? What?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston. And you're going Boston?
Yeah. Tomorrow?
Boston. Nice place. Nice.
What I tell you?
Yeah.
Things to make you go,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Good.
Oh, yeah. So we
That's why I can tell you I love my life.
Yeah, so we go back to the other one now.
Which one? Junior.
Folks, don't forget our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj. I know some of you have problems and you know you're looking for an outlet to express yourself. Well, this is the place to be. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. Our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Feel free to interact with him via the telephone. Yeah.
You know, there's a very famous actor who used to use the word Judy. That's the other one. And that's the other one.
But look how we're playing last.
All 3.
Yeah, nice, man.
Look, I'll be here for Carnival.
Yeah.
So you see?
Yeah, nice.
They didn't even know they know anything about Carnival and they tell me they want to come for Carnival. That's all they know about Trinidad, Carnival. They're good.
Well, that is
Well, you know, you're the cultural ambassador. I'll leave you to take care of them.
No, but that is how they must.
I will leave you to take care of them. No, really, if Toy there, he would, take care of all the. But you'll have to fill in.
There we go. The police. You know, the amount of times that phone blink, you don't see sometimes.
Flashes?
Sometimes flashes.
Sometimes I have it in my pocket and it's blinking. I say, well, what flashing here, boy? It happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Not yesterday, Wednesday. I was somewhere and I said, why I seen something flashing here? So the guy who works with me said, your phone flashing?
It's like a moving Christmas tree.
Well, I'd like my phone to, all my phone flashes, it doesn't ring. So sometimes, you misplace your phone and somebody say, call it. I say, for what? You're not going to hear it.
No.
You have to look for light flashing somewhere. Some weird place.
But that's good. That's fantastic. But but the amount you got, you can make a movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. I plan to though.
You plan.
Sequential movements.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 28 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM on this Friday evening with Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center.
You know, iPhone allows you to do that. Take the photograph and make a movie. Yeah. There's an app in iPhone that allows you to do that.
Allows you to do something like that?
So it flows like a movie. Especially if you have consecutive photographs.
Oh.
You want me to show you?
Yeah, but
Pleasant good evening and Merry Christmas to my good friend Veda. How are you?
Veda.
My childhood friend.
You know.
And we so happened that we did carry the same last name when we were growing up.
What was it? Oh.
Ramnanan, I mean, what was it?
No,
I didn't change my name. I got married, but I didn't cheated.
Oh, so she changed.
Yes.
She changed her name.
No relations, but.
No, there's a possibility she could have gotten married to.
Ramnanan and kept it. Oh.
You know.
All right. Yeah, that's a possibility. I didn't think about that. Sorry.
Like
my bad.
when Tony Francis got married.
It was still Francis.
You know, to Mr. Holdup. You see, you on a different level, yes, my money.
Is he?
Is he?
Why are you asking me?
Is he still interacting with you?
Yes. Yes. Why are you asking me if I enjoy it? Of course I do.
Yeah.
Enjoy it to the fullest.
Exactly. But I'll tell you something.
More than the fullest.
Yeah, but for a minute there I thought there was a Christmas tree in here.
Yeah, I'm going to flash to see going
on.
off.
Yeah.
All right, I understand that.
But this is good though, this is good. Anyway, folks, taking over time, 10:30, Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. I tell you, this is what it's all about, and this is our last program for the year, and we are giving you a brand new program this up and coming, and we're going to be telling you all about the outlets where you can get. We can tell you.
We'll start talking about that in January, not before.
Yeah, but
some people will vex, eh?
Oh.
Yeah, some people will vex. I know some people will vex.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people will vex.
Well, I think some people will vex just out of jealousy.
Well, that too, but some people will vex that they can't be here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah. But let's leave that for next year.
Yeah.
But they only have half an hour with me again, because, you see, if you were a good sidekick, you would know. By the time you see that flash, just talk about something else and let me enjoy it.
I know going to say the reach.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
I tell you, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. We are taking it to a whole new level. And I can tell you, when we first started 18 years ago, there were some people who had a negativity towards the program.
That's true.
When you're thinking of a radio program dealing with sex, to some people it was a turn off. But then when they got the whole idea what the program was about, sex education, as I mentioned,
I don't think so. I think that we grew on them. Some people were still criticizing the program despite the fact that it was sex education, because they think that sex education shouldn't be given openly. They think that it should be kept in the closet and people shouldn't be talking about sex on the whole. So it wasn't that they started accepting the fact that we were talking about education. It is just that we grew on them and they couldn't get rid of us. Remember, they tried everything possible to get rid of this program. At the beginning, we went through hell and high waters. And thank God for Ingrid Isaac and Marcel Mahabir, they stuck with it. So those are two persons who stuck with the program and believe in the product. And it is because of both of them we are here so long. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. And of course, I shouldn't say that. Both of them and the audience that we have.
Well, yes, the
audience played a big part in it. Because we were getting a lot of positives as opposed to negatives. So that helped us a lot. So here we are, and going into our 19th year now. My God.
Next year would be our 19th, yeah. And
19 years on the air.
If I'm not mistaken, it is the longest nighttime running program on radio. I don't think they have any other radio program.
I wouldn't know because I'm not too familiar with that type of record.
The only one I could remember is Dr. Paul and Portia Faces Live, which was many. You don't know about that, right? Many years ago.
That was not even my time.
You can't remember that, Portia?
You didn't know? Wait, no, you're talking about before Calabash Ali?
Wait, yeah.
Well, right. I only know from Calabash Ali come up.
He was a baby.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and then Dr. Paul, Dr. Paul and Portia Faces Live. That was the big thing. People used to stay home till the listen to programs like that. And if I remember correctly,
What year that was, Junior, and how long did that run for?
that run for quite many years. And it used to come on radio at 12 o'clock every day.
During the day?
Yeah.
Well, then it's not a nighttime program, so
No, but I'm speaking in terms of the length. The length of programs.
I don't know, Junior. They had other programs that ran for a very long time.
Not-
Musical programs and different type of program, but not talk. I don't know. I really don't care.
No, but the most
To me, I am not about records. I'm about doing what I want to do,
bringing people together.
which is to bring people together.
Having your phone lit up while doing a program.
Having my phone lit up while I'm doing
Yeah.
my program,
Mm-hmm.
seeing all my good friends from childhood coming on,
Yeah.
my good friends from now, just joining us and
No, you can't ask
spending a moment, even if it is 2 minutes.
You can't ask for better than that.
Or you could ask for better than that. It's like somebody just drop in
So you jump in your
to
car.
hear what the program is about.
Yeah. You're going up.
And up to now, you can't even give me substance for tonight's program.
Yeah. You're driving up the highway. Substance? We can know the substance you want right here now.
I know.
I show you that table. I'm surprised that table didn't tumble over. But this is good.
You were talking about Holder.
Hmm?
Connie Francis.
Yeah, good night. Nice singer. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM this Friday. And I tell you, this is what it's all about. Taking sex education to a whole new level. Which reminds me, I was watching television sometime earlier in the week. And local television, of course. And they were speaking in terms of they want to introduce sex education in schools. And there was a very serious topic about that earlier on. I don't know
That's
if
very
you
good.
had. I don't know if you had any idea of catching it on.
No, I didn't see anything on it. And as a matter, my father was telling me there was something.
Yeah.
A judge was telling somebody who had a problem to either talk to Dr. Fuad Khan or Dr. Raj about it.
I think, seriously, sooner or later, sex education going to be introduced in schools in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, let them stay back now and not do it and see what
Because
happens.
What you're looking at, you're looking at 12 and 13-year-olds are so active. So you have to get to an avenue where you can educate these children.
Junior, all you have to think about is the biological changes that have taken place in children over the years. A child of 1970s at 13 years of age is not the same child in 2018 at 13 years of age.
Okay, now let me ask you the million-dollar question. Do you think this is responsible because of parenting?
It's a combination of things. I don't think it's parenting. I think it's environmental. I think it's technological. I think it's exposure to so much more information. Even if you try as a parent, you can't stop your children from doing certain things or preventing them. You have things like net nanny and whatnot to control what you have on the internet, but net nanny might walk home by you. But as soon as they step out the house and they pick up the neighbor Wi-Fi, they might get something else.
Because in our days growing up, it was complete. But then again, in our days growing up, we didn't have all this.
I don't
access.
compare. So one thing I don't do is compare. I look at it's like, okay.
So you look at it now.
My sport is cricket. When somebody say who's the better batsman, is it Lara or Vivian Richards? I'll say there's no comparison. So obviously they'll think that I was going to say Brian Lara. But it's two different eras. Two different individuals who are both great. Now if you ask me, in my opinion, who is greater than who, I could tell you, it obviously will be Brian Lara.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is my opinion. But, and that has personal bias in it. But if you're comparing one era to another era, you can't do that. It's the same thing when we were growing up. When you grew up or were growing up was a different time from when I was growing up. Even if it was a 10-year difference or a 15-year difference. To when my children were growing up, and your children, to the generation now, it's a different time. So what you have to do is forget what we went through, because some people say, well, bring back the old time days and You know, we used to do this and we used to do that. Yes, we used to do it. But a lot of it is at fault also. We didn't teach the children some of the things that we were doing. How many parents would allow their children to go and run outside barefoot? No. None.
I don't think, no.
None. How many parents, right, would allow, and I have seen really, really poor people, because I do help a lot of poor individuals who cannot afford it, have the best in designer clothes. You're buying something for them, they want the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Despite the fact that they cannot afford it. But if you getting something for them, do get them something cheap. Why? Because of the time. They want a phone. Children who don't have electricity home want a phone, Junior. Could you imagine that? So, if you're talking about dealing with these kids, forget what we went through. Look at what they are exposed to. Right? Look at what the challenges that they face. And you have to do curriculums and you have to do program and planning around that. Not what we went through. Because none of us wants our children to go through what we went through.
No,
Even if we buy, we used to ride bicycle without helmet. Fall long and get white pan. How much white pan you get in your days?
Oh,
Well, you white. But how much white pan you get in your days?
I
Right. We making scooter and all kind of thing out of wood and old bearing, and the bearing shell in your tail, and the little lock, and you fall on kilkity, and you prolong the hill, and you get up and you dust out your thing.
This is one with a piece of wood. And
Yeah.
and
We
it's
would
like
do
a-
that.
Yeah.
Right? And that same dig and cut and thing that you have will form a scab, and you're going to play football, and somebody trip you, fall in the mud get into it, you go home, you wash it out, it's hurting like hell. Nobody allowing them children to go through them, King. I tell you, I used to take my children and go and bathe them in the rain. Oh, let me go and bathe in the rain.
So, in other words, what you're telling me is that you don't compare
No, you can't.
that era to this era.
You can't. There's no comparison. Absolutely no comparison. We have to be thankful that we live in an era of nothing to the best. We live in an era from nothing to the best, but yet still you cannot compare. So what you have to do as an educator, you have to look at the circumstances and you have to look at the generation now and what is needed now and how you go about dealing with that. That's why you cannot have, and I don't mean anything by this other than to say, you cannot have somebody with an old brain in a new technological ministry. I hope people understand that. I'm not knocking any minister or anybody, but you cannot have somebody who come from an era or like ourselves or before and wanting to run things in an industry or a ministry where you have young, brilliant, beautiful minds who are exposed to everything. You can't have a minister who is not a kura. And don't tell me you know how to put on a computer. Putting on a computer is not knowing how to use a computer, you know. There are lots of teachers out there who know how to put on a computer, you know. But ask them to do a program. When we were learning computers, and we were talking about that the other day, we had to write programs for the computer before we could use it, you know. We had to write something called BASIC, COBOL, which is Common Business Oriented Language, and Fortran, Formula Translation. 3 languages we had to learn to write before we went and used the computer, you know, because the computer wouldn't work unless you put those languages in. And then we had to do, when the Windows Suite came out, Excel and Word and all those kind of things, we had to learn to do that also. So I could tell you, there are some teachers, you give them an Excel spreadsheet and tell them, do something on a spreadsheet, and they look at you. What do you mean do something on a spreadsheet? Isn't that you just put numbers and whatnot? Yeah, put in a formula. What formula? Well, let a column add for itself. And as you go along, let it continue to add for itself. They don't know how to do that. But the children know how to do it.
Yeah, but definitely.
The children know how to do it. So how are you taking old brain to teach new brain? And that's why the developing countries are way ahead. They're changing the educational system. They're using technology to their advantage. They're getting away from all this exam-oriented thing and competition in classroom.
Yeah.
We grew up in competition, you know, who come in first and who come in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I remember, Junior, this is no lie, and I'm saying it openly, who vex, and who think I'm a bad influence to the children, to hell was with you. The first year and the first term of high school, I got all A's, you know. And you know what I promised myself? Never again, you know. Never again I'm going to get all A's, you know. Because people have too much expectation of you.
Yes.
And I play the ass right through.
Yeah. Yeah, they have the
Ask anybody who went to school with me, ask Vader. I played the ass right through high school. And I'm not saying that in a boastful way, but that's what I did, because I tell myself I never want to do that again. Ever. Because the expectations people had of you was too damn much.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you start doing
And I guess I was thinking, in the future, I was thinking about, I always think about way ahead of my time. That, what do you ask we a competition for who come first in class? And you know? So always big deal. You come last or you come first, and all of us going to the same class and learning the same damn thing. I know men who went to school with me who got 9 subjects. 9 subjects. Distinction, this, that, and the other. And when I came back from university, I had a degree, and they would now start in university. And that guy turned to me and he said, Raj, I really wish I played the ass like you. But look at you. You already have a degree. And I'm now going into university. I said, well, you make the choice, not me.
Anyway, folks, taking our time. It's now 14 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with Dr. Raj Ramanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. That's located in St. Augustine. Well, I'll tell you what we are going to do is take a break, and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
I mean, when I go and do lectures, and I don't tell students those things, but I really play the ass. Because I decided I did not want to compete in that environment. It wasn't for me.
That was your thing.
Probably the most celebrated holiday in the world. Christmas in Trinidad and Tobago is filled with traditions. This is how we celebrate it. Trinity Traditions is on Power 102. Hear from local celebrities and how they celebrate at this time of the year.
Christmas Eve. Me? Crazy.
Hug up, Anil, hug up.
When I have to do everything last minute.
With house haranguing, cleaning and painting, midnight mass, food, and spending time with friends and family.
If you taste one of my butter pastel, you don't want to eat pastel from nobody else.
Be a part of our 12 weeks of Christmas here on Power 102 with Trinity Traditions. 3 times daily from Monday to Friday at 9:35 a.m., 1:35 p.m., and 5:35 p.m. Spend the season with us and share in our Trinity Traditions.
Mommy, this is Christmas Day.
Sponsored by Neil and Massey North Credit Union, Enterprise, Karen, and Agricola Credit Union on Power 102. Empowering you.
Merry Christmas! It's Christmas time, and the Christmas Shopping Festival located at the White Tent opposite Metro Gas Station, Shogunas, is your one-stop shop from December 1st to 24. Check us out for a wide range of toys and gifts, handicrafts, home decor, ready-made garments, footwear, and much more available all under one roof. Enjoy daily entertainment. Your one-stop shop, the Christmas Shopping Festival, located at the White Tent opposite Metro Gas Station, Shogunas, from December 1st to 24. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas on Power 102 with our 12 weeks of Christmas. We're bringing you lots of joy and holiday cheer with our fun features and opportunities to win fantastic prizes for you and the family. Christmas. Listen out for our Trinity Traditions, the Power Minute to Win, Trinity Recipes, Power Parang Line, Christmas Classics, and our Picture Perfect Christmas, to name a few. You'll be wrapped up in the warmth of this festive season with Power 102's 12 Weeks of Christmas. Access info about our giveaways and more on Power 102 and online at power102fm.com or any of our digital platforms. The 12 Weeks of Christmas is on Power 102, empowering you this Christmas.
Well, I can tell you that you are making radio an experience by itself when you're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj, Brandon, and of Total Imogen, the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female.
I haven't said goodnight to Rosanna Rodriguez in a long, long time. How are you, my dear? My brother-in-law and his family is in Canada right now. He said it's cold, no.
Yeah, it's cold.
Well, I know it's cold. I just came from there a few weeks ago.
Yes, that's correct,
Yeah, I know how cold it is.
Yeah,
but I'll be very close to him soon.
Yeah, but when you're in a place like Canada and it's just so cold.
Stay indoors.
Do your body parts shrink?
Of course it does.
So it's not advisable to have sex.
Well, yes, but you're not going to have sex outside in the cold.
But
come back in your room, warm up your room, get warm up, swizzle the thing so you get back the full leg.
Yeah, but suppose now the heat have cut off on you.
And Vera says, true Raj, you always had natural intelligence. It came easily to you. I wouldn't call it natural intelligence, I'd call it common sense. My grandfather used to teach me that. My Aja used to say, always remember common sense make before book sense.
Yeah.
Always remember that.
I always say so.
Yes. So Anil, what I'll tell you, boy, just enjoy the coldness. Brr.
Yeah.
That is a different, Canada cold is a different cold, you know.
Yeah.
That's the worst cold in the world, you know.
Well, I know.
It's like, no matter how much clothing you have on,
yes,
when that breeze blow, it's like it's going straight through you.
Yeah, but it's one thing, I can tell you. When it is wintertime in Canada, you can't say, well, look, boy, I'm going home, and right just as I go home, I'm going to have sex.
You're mad?
You have to
That's
talk.
a talk.
So if you're excited, you meet somebody and you're excited.
You know what? One of the things I love about the countryside in Canada during wintertime?
What's that?
You're driving through these areas, you know it's snowing, All of a sudden you look across and it's black. For as far as your eyes could see, it's black. And you just pop your horn and you see the whole black just lift up and go back down. Geese, you know.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, you're going to get the opportunity because you're going, but Boston is cold as well.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll be warm, don't worry.
But I know that.
Why are you worried about my warmth for? I will be a very warm man.
I remember living in New York, you know, and it's winter time, and you have to wear these long johns. And just when you thought that you're going to...
They don't call them long johns anymore. They call them thermal underwear.
Oh, they give it a nice name.
It's a nice name.
Oh.
Thermal underwear. Not long john.
Yeah, but remember those...
Well, I know what you're talking about. But I was giving it the right... I'm giving you the proper name. Thermal underwear.
Thermal underwear. So they use the word underwear?
Yes.
Oh, I find long john sound better. Because when you say thermal underwear, people say, hey, you're wearing drawers. You know, it is much better to say long johns.
Oh my God! Somebody's listening to me, boy.
Oh, somebody listening?
Somebody's listening. I'm listening to my commands.
Eh?
But you're telling me that my phone lighting up. You're sitting watching my phone and you're not telling me what's going on in the studio.
This is the ability that you have that is so outstanding. Imagine you doing a radio program and, you know, you're in control. You're on your phone.
I didn't think about it that way.
You didn't think about it that way?
I did command something and I see it happen immediately. And I'm wondering, you know, oh my God.
Yeah,
there is a God.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I had a secretary.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
I had a secretary who was working for me once. You ever heard of the Bisnat family?
Yeah. No, but I don't know if it's because I know of the snap.
007.
No. Okay.
You know where that is?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Anyway, the daughter was working for me. It was my birthday coming up. So she made a cake. Well, she asked somebody to make a cake. And she told them to put on the cake, Happy Birthday, God. But the person was a Christian person, so they refused. She said, no, I'm paying for this cake, put that. And she brought it for me. So I looked at it, I said, why did you put that on the cake? She said, you just know everything, and you just commanding, and it just happened. I just see it. happening that way. Ah, yes.
You good, eh? Sometimes,
Sometime what?
No, sometimes you see.
Just remember, folks, the program ends in 7 minutes, so make your phone call, make your contribution, send your text, send your photographs. I can't be driving down on the highway and looking at photographs. Eh?
No, you can't.
That's one thing, because I have to head south.
Oh, yes.
Before I head east.
Before you're going. Yeah. You got to go south to come back into the east.
Yeah, I have a long night ahead of me.
Yeah.
My night doesn't end until tomorrow. Tomorrow night around 8.
8 o'clock.
That's when my night starts. Tomorrow around 8. 8 p.m., not 8 a.m.
And the phone stops blinking at 11. What time does the phone stop blinking?
I don't know what time the phone stops. My phone never stops blinking. All the time.
Ah.
When I put it down home, I have to cover it with something. Otherwise, it keeps blinking whole night. Whole night. When I wake up in the morning, what messages I have? Seriously?
No, I know, but
no. I get a tremendous amount of messages.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Throughout the night.
So throughout the night, messages are coming, pictures are coming, things are coming.
People are lonely when you know.
No, Junior.
Your battery never. Your battery never.
I use an iPhone. iPhone batteries don't run out. So if you know what to do,
you have it covered.
If you know what to do.
Yes. You have it covered.
There are things that you have to do with an iPhone to keep that battery life going.
No, but of course you would need the battery life going.
Yeah. So I have a something that you put the phone into, and it becomes part of the phone, but it is a battery. A full battery.
So they can't charge you for a certain battery.
No.
I like that. Anyway, folks, taking our time. It's now 5 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on this Friday evening. With Dr. Raj, you still got 5 minutes in which you can interact with him via telephone at 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Feel free. Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I got an early Christmas present. It's one of the best presents I've gotten in a long time.
Not the best. You got a couple.
Beautiful present. Well,
you know, the moment time I see your fingers moving here, if that was on the road, the police charge you for speeding now.
Well, let me don't go there now. Let's not go there at all. Like I said, I have to go south and then go east.
No. Well, I know I think it'll take you no time to reach here. The way you travel.
Well, yes, Jimmy.
Yeah. I miss so how is my girls I miss them.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you didn't come and visit them. Well, why don't you visit them during well, I'm inviting everyone to go to Total Image and go to Dr. Raj Adult Therapy Center, adult store.
I want
the adult boutique in Baby and Bamboo 3.
Yeah,
go see what, and very soon we'll be in the east. I'm not going to rush it. I had a date, but I have to put off the date because of a number of things that's going to be happening around that time. I'm planning something around that time, so hopefully it will come off. And I think it's going to work the way what I'm planning. So
it's going to be a bright 2019 then.
Yeah, it's going to be a different 2019.
A
different 2019, not a bright 2019.
I think those posters are going to be starting moving in 2019. You know, you're going to be waving at people. Those block posters.
Who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. They're going to be like easy on Sunday morning.
But I'll tell you something. I'm going to make sure. Excuse me.
You're going to make sure.
I'm going to make sure I don't put myself in the situation that I put myself in this year, next year.
They're going to be a bit different. But this is good.
And yes, Keith, we do have access to the subsidian for the treatment of herpes. It's just that we don't carry it anymore, meaning we don't keep it in stock, but we can get it at a moment's notice. And I do mean at a moment's notice. It could be here within a few days. So if you are interested in getting that, just let me know. Leslie, and how are you? Good night, Raj. What it's like being at the Porn Award, and when is it going to be again? It's great to be at the Porn Award. I'll be there very soon. It's on the 18th. Is the 18th of next month? I have my tickets and everything booked already. It's already there.
18th?
Yeah.
No,
My
this
hotel
is-
room is booked. My flight is booked. My tickets are booked. My appearances are booked.
This is in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I just heard Branson bought over the hotel that they normally would have it at.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
things looking bright for the...
yeah, real bright. Boy. It's
It's
so
kind of-
bright that it's you got to wear shades. As a matter of fact, the awards, we have our awards the week before. And people want to know what is our awards.
But this is what...
I'm not going to tell you. That's our thing. This is for
Okay, yes.
professionals
I know.
in the
Yeah,
industry.
professional, Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not a professional in the industry, but I think I know. I
Yes, DB will be open on Monday. And somebody, I think Jerry asked a question about how to get a harder erection. Come to the Adult Therapy Center. We treat that there. If you only know what that Christmas present did to me. Things to make you go,
Yes.
So with that, folks, we've reached the end of our
I
program
can
for tonight.
imagine where the bulbs are lit.
I wish there was a bulb lit there. I wish there was a bulb lit there focusing. Yes, folks, I want to wish every one of you a safe and happy Christmas,
Yeah.
prosperous New Year, and a very fruitful New Year. So, with that, good night
I'll be looking
until
for
next year.
A bright 2019.
Love you. I take your words
Lovely,
there.
yeah, beautiful words. You've been listening to Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnaden of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center.